It's not on. All right, coming up on this episode of Sound Culture, Don and I are going to be talking about Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. What year did that one come out in?
1976.
Ooh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, going back.
But this is his signature album, so I think you're going to enjoy this review, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right, we're back for another episode of Sound Culture, the show where we give you recommendations on albums you should be listening to. We're talking about an older album today, hey, Don?
Yeah, yes. Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder, 1976. So let's just jump right into it. Love's in Need of Love Today. You hear those, ooh yeah, those soulful vocals just enter in. It gives you this feeling. It's like, yep, this is the sexy 70s, and it's soulful. Stevie comes in, he's like a preacher, he's like telling you the message, he's telling you the good news, and it's all about love, love, love. It's pretty special, and it's full of heart.
Well, and when he was making this album, I think he was like a newly minted or young father at the time too. So he's a family man. He's I think he's been married 3 times too. So like this is a guy who like loves to be in love. Yeah. So this album for sure demonstrates that idea.
Yeah. Second song, Have a Talk with God. This one I find is a little on the cheesier side. I don't know, it might bring some people a little bit of comfort, but this one's just like kind of the more predictable. I like the scatting that comes in. It makes you feel kind of comfortable. It relaxes you a bit. It feels like it's almost like you're listening to something live and improvised. Yeah. Very common of many jazz records as well. The feeling of improvisation is not just a feeling sometimes, it's actually they do improvise on the record. So
well, and again, just going back to the whole idea of the album as a concept, there's an artist by the name of Naji, and I apologize if I butchered their name, was a smooth jazz artist who actually covered the entire album of Songs in the Key of Life because Stevie did such an excellent job creating a jazzy album.
Third song, Village Ghetto Land. Now this is cool because this isn't a bit of history. You can go back and listen to this song. Well, obviously it's 1976, but you can hear some of the new technology, the new tech of the strings that you hear. It's only voice and it's like a keyboard string section. That kind of technology was new back then.
And it's okay that it's of its time because it is such an inspirational piece of music. Like we can listen to today and still appreciate, like you said, like all the great ideas that he was doing. And I just want to add another thing that I thought was really interesting reading about this album. He had 130 musicians work with him on this.
Oh, damn. Oh, it doesn't surprise me, though. It's dense. Like, there's so much. Yeah, the fourth song, Contusion, is just some great high-energy jazz. It really brings you in with the instrumental intro to the album. Yeah. There's a lot of like I said, energy, and talking about jazz elements, there's some descending fifths, like the chords going da 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 da. It gives you this sort of jazz band feel, and you can tell that Stevie is very versed in the circle of fifths. He knows what's going on in the theory. The fifth track, Sir Duke. Oh man, this song has my heart so much. The horns to intro the song. It's just immediately, you hear that ba da 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 dun 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 dun, and you're just already dancing. Like it's just, it gets you. And a lot of these songs, I'm gonna say this a few times, but I just dare you to listen to it without dancing or without moving. Like there's so much heart, there's so much groove. The rhythm is just so on point.
And this is one of the singles too of the album. I mean, it's a dense album. We talked about this off camera. It's like 145 minutes length, double album.
Yeah.
But Sir Duke is one of the toe tappers for a reason because, like you said, you can't not dance.
You can't. Yeah. Number 6 on the album is I Wish. And this bass line is so iconic. You hear that, and it's just like, oh man, each one of these songs is so original. They're so iconic in their own way. But the bass on this track.
What's really interesting about this song is that it's been forever ruined for me by Will Smith.
Oh, no.
With Wild Wild West, because he did a riff on it, right?
So he sampled it?
So he sampled it hard, and now all I think of is the Wild Wild West movie. And with this album, Stevie actually went back just before it was about to be released and had it remixed. So they spent even longer getting it ready. And like you said, it's not like a one-take process. It's like it takes time to put it together. So as a concept, they actually released promotional marketing called t-shirts that actually said we're almost finished on the album. So like that's how long it took to produce the album. Like they actually like had fun. It was worth it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
Number 7 is "Knocks Me Off My Feet." Now this song, it didn't knock me off my feet quite at first. But there is a lot of ear candy in there. It's enjoyable to listen to. It starts out in the key of C, and there is a modulation to D flat, just that 1/2 step up. Now number 8 is "Pastime Paradise." I can't skip over this one yet. I've heard so many parodies of this one. So many people just take this beat, and I've heard "Gangster's Paradise." I've heard "Amish Paradise." And it really just lets Stevie's soul fly. And I really like the rhyme train he goes on with Asian words.
Well, the only thing I wanted to say was that he actually took I didn't know this, but he actually took from Bach. He took from Prelude number 2 in C minor to make it.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like it's a popular song, but on top of that, he sampled from another song to create it. So I wanted to.
Yeah, it's like neoclassical. Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was really interesting.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
So. Number 9, "Summer Soft." This song, I only recently heard it actually. This was not one of the ones that I just had known immediately from memory when when you start going through the Stevie Wonder catalog. But this one stole my heart. It's my favorite on the album for sure. The musicianship on display here is insane. So vocally, he starts out in the key of G flat, which is like a dark key. It's kind of like it's like sort of like it's on the darker side of things. And by the time that the second chorus comes around, the key modulates up a 1/2 step, and the key actually changes another 4 times after that, rising in 1/2 step intervals every time. And he's singing these crazy lines that even in like he's belting out like a high B at the end.
Well, and I mean, I think you could say it's pretty obvious that he was influenced by other artists of that caliber, like Ray Charles and Duke Ellington and Sam Cooke and even James Brown to an extent. Although I think they were more contemporaries.
Yeah, and mentioning Duke Ellington, that is the name Sir Duke. I'm pretty sure that's who he's talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that when we were talking about that, but just to call back to that. And then this, I'm going to be focusing more so on the A side of this Songs in the Key of Life.
It's a long album.
But Ordinary Pain, it's kind of sleepy. It's another soulful one. It's not my fave, but it gets dancier as it goes on. I appreciate the second half of the song, but first song, it kind of, I mean, you have to slow it down after the craziness that goes down in Summer Soft. So it's a nice... kind of cools you down to end off the first side.
Absolutely. So just some final thoughts. Just, I mean, if you really like Stevie Wonder, you might want to also check out Marvin Gaye. You might also want to try Earth, Wind, and Fire. Michael Jackson, obviously. Sly and the Family Stone. Again, those are all artists that kind of came around the same time, a little bit after. I mean, Stevie's still making music today, obviously, but more influenced by him artists, right? Like that followed. So that said, I think it's a great album. I mean, there's a lot of depth here, like Don said. We only talked about the first half of it, really. But I mean, there's tons more tracks that we could go into, and you have Another Star or As or
Isn't She Lovely? That's the one.
Yeah,
that everyone.
Everyone talks about that.
So great.
Which wasn't a single. It was later released as a single.
Deservedly.
Later on. So. There you go.
But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure to hit subscribe and give us a like if you liked what you saw.
Yeah, leave some comments. Let us know what you thought. I'd be surprised if you don't like this album, but yeah, it's a great album. So thanks for watching Sound Culture, and we hope to see you on another review.
Peace. Yeah.
This isn't.
We may as well restart that.
I'm just gonna reset. Stop the clock.
Is it rolling?
Oh yeah, it's all good to go. So
okay,
just gotta
get in place.
Get in place.